Good Tuesday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. I'm Joey McWilliams. I am glad to get to visit with you tonight, wherever you may happen to be in Bryan County and beyond. And I have a special guest with me. You know, I think all of our guests are pretty special, but this one is special just as well. And she's on location at her workplace. This was Take Your Broadcaster to Work Day, I guess. And so she's taken me all the way to South Durant here in Bryan County, and she's going to be having some cool events going on. As a matter of fact, one big time event going on this week. I mean, it is right around the corner. I mean, we are less than 48 hours away from this cool event. Christi Braudrick, who is the coach at Southeastern with the rodeo teams, men's and women's rodeo teams. Coach, thank you so much for even taking some time with us here on BCP Live tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. It's always fun to be on here with you, so I'm glad to get to talk about it a little bit since it's coming up.
Well, please do. Let's just let me get all my intro out of the way right now. I know there's some folks that are watching tonight, and I really appreciate you stopping by. And so now that some eyeballs are coming in, let's talk rodeo. Collegiate Rodeo. Southeastern is hosting a rodeo this week, and it starts Thursday night at 7. Tell us what's going on.
Right. We have our rodeo that's normally scheduled in October. Was actually postponed and able to take place after January of this year. So this week is our spring break, and the dates that were open for us were this weekend. So our rodeo will be just like it normally is in October, but it's going to be in March. So Thursday night, that will kick off at 7 o'clock at the Durant Riding Club, which is just right behind the fairgrounds on South 9th Street, which is where we're at tonight. And then Friday all day, we'll have Slack, which is free to the public, starting at 9 o'clock. It'll probably last till about 3 that afternoon or 4. And then we will kick back off Friday night at 7 with another performance. And then again, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we'll have free Slack open to the public at 9 o'clock. And then the top 10 from the whole competition will be up Saturday night in each event, which we call the short go performance. And that's kind of the showcase performance of the top 10, in each event. So you can come watch the best of the best on Saturday night for sure.
And the cost to get in for adults, $10, for children under 12, $5. And if you are a Southeastern student and you can show your ID, then you get in free to this event as well. Nice athletic event for some students to come watch too.
Right. It's a fun thing. I know a lot of people may not have ever even been to a rodeo, and it's be something good to take your family to go watch too. So we have an added attraction that we throw in there called the Ladies Steer Scramble, which is really entertaining to watch. We won't be having the rescue race this year just due to COVID guidelines, but this Ladies Steer Scramble will happen, and that's something fun and entertaining to watch usually, along with the rodeo competitions. So be something great to do. The weather so far is going to be awesome in the high 60s. Close to 70 for 3 days sunshine. I mean, you can't ask for better weather for this time of year for this. So,
no kidding. I mean, and hey, listen, we're on spring break here in Bryan County. So if you're not, down at South Padre or something, or Florida, like Silo's baseball team is in Florida right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. This is the place to be here in South Durant at the Durant Riding Club Arena. Is where this is going to take place. So, Coach, and by the way, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great event. You were talking about the fact that even on Friday and Saturday to come watch the Slack, that's free to the public to come out there. It is a family-friendly event. I think rodeo is one of the most family-friendly events right now in athletics, hands down across the board throughout the United States. And I think it's a great thing. My kids, they enjoy going, and I love taking them. You guys, this is not the first performance, the first time that you all have had the opportunity to compete this season. You were talking about the fact that this normally would be in October. It's in March now because your season has been taken from here and all put together here. Lots of spring events, and you guys were in Fort Scott, Kansas last week. Talk about that.
Right. We were in our second competition last weekend, which was a normal scheduled rodeo. And that's normally when they have that rodeo that time of year. So that was a great feeling just to feel like you're getting back to normal. Our competitors did pretty well. In the men's on the men's team, we had 3 bull riders that made the top 10, and we were the only 3 bull riders to make it back. So that night in the short round, you got to watch all our guys compete for first, second, or third. That was pretty exciting. Wyatt Rogers was able to win that competition. And then we had 4 goat tires make it back that did well. We ended up third in the women's team and second in the men's team for the competition. And currently, right now, both of our teams are in second in the region. Of course, we have 7 more competitions, 7 weekends in a row left. So there's a lot that can happen between now and May the 6th. So, but so far, I feel like we've got a pretty decent start, and kind of looking forward to getting more competitions under our belt.
Well, I wish you well in that too. It's nice to get some of those competitions there. So, I at this point in the season, this is. You look back, you think, well, we probably already competed at home, which, by the way, just a little bit earlier, before we went on the air, you talked about some of those bull riders. Whoa, did you get bucked?
Yeah.
So some of those bull riders were actually, practicing behind you. Talk to us really quickly about what is going on right now. The last time that we had a chance to visit with you on BCP Live, I think you were dangling from the ceiling inside the practice facility out there. Now you're outside getting ready for this. What's happening behind you?
Well, we've been practicing bull riding and bareback riding and saddle bronc tonight. It's our rough stock practice. We've been practicing timed events pretty much all afternoon, and then we're ending the night with this. So that's a pretty normal thing to happen on a Tuesday night for us. And then, of course, getting ready for Thursday. So tomorrow, my kids will be out here hanging banners and putting all the sponsorship things up and getting ready to actually start for Thursday.
Let me stay there just for 1 second longer, Coach, because different sports have their different routines and all that. So this is a general Tuesday night time. You're doing rough stock generally on Tuesday nights. What would happen on a Wednesday if you were going to go on the road, or even tomorrow? What do you look at tomorrow?
Right. Normally on a Wednesday, we're in the arena practicing timed events, and they're on bucky machines at our home practice facility. And then, of course, we usually leave out on Thursday mornings, and we get back late Sunday nights. So our competitions usually last 3 days, and sometimes 4, depending on where they're at in Oklahoma or Kansas. But it's a pretty brutal schedule this semester because there's 9 competitions. Right now there's 7 in a row. We're here 3 days a week and gone 4 normally. So the 3 days we are here, we're practicing, getting ready to leave again. And of course, they've got to keep the academic part of that up first and foremost.
Because they are student athletes. That much is true. Coach, then with that in mind, which one is more challenging to you? I mean, or which does it balance out? Let me ask the question. You're going to be at home, so you don't have the travel. However, you're hosting this week, so there are more responsibilities. Right. Which one's more difficult there?
Well, honestly, I think hosting a rodeo is a lot more work. Only 10 schools do that a year in our region, and our region consists of Kansas and Oklahoma schools. It goes all the way from tech schools up to 4-year universities. So hosting one of those for the membership in our region is around usually 500 student athletes. And that takes a lot of effort, and your team works it. So while they're competing, they're also having to work to put it on. And that's just, it's just a little bit more difficult than actually driving up and just attending a competition. So now it's very prideful to get to host a rodeo. It's something you want to do for your team. So we enjoy it. I enjoy it for the community and for people to get to watch. And this will be the first competition that full-fledged, fans can come without a percentage. So kind of excited to see that happen. For the families and the families that want to come watch their students and their kids, because they haven't got to do that really up to now.
I absolutely love that there is live action going on behind you right now. This is fantastic. Speaking now with Coach Christi Braudrick from Southeastern, President Newsom says it's rodeo week. He's stoked about that. So you have somebody from the big office that's watching you tonight, Coach. So proud of that. I'm glad he's watching. Thank you for watching, sir. And Wesley Barlow says don't fall. I don't know. You look like you might be going to fall just a moment ago, but I think you'll be all right. Okay,
being too daring out here.
Well, you were, like I said, you were really daring the last time. I think you were way up high in the practice facility. So
Yeah,
I was surprised by that. Well, again, I know you got to get back to this in just a moment. I'll ask you just a couple more questions. Number one is this: we had a local person competing down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area just this last week again, and doing very well. Casey Hollenbeck, correct? Did I say that right? And
that's right. She's a junior this year at Southeastern, and she last year was able to compete at AT&T Stadium, which she beat out 430 plus people to get to do that, and was able to win that as a sophomore. And this year she was able to get all the way to the finals again, beating out 400 plus people, and was a reserve champion. So, those pay huge amounts of money, 100,000, 25,000. So she's done something really no one's done. So up to this point in that, and that's pretty awesome for her, being just a junior in college, being able to do that. So we had a steer wrestler that they have junior events that are 20 years old and under. And we had Gus Franson, who did well last year as a freshman here, and he's a sophomore this year. He was able to win that competition. He beat out like 112 people for that, and at the same time down there. So that was another huge win, for Gus, and I was pretty proud of that too.
Sounds like Southeastern Rodeo is not only representing elsewhere, but making a good name for it as well.
Right. These kids compete professionally. They want an education and a degree. So, college rodeo is a perfect fit for a lot of them to do both and, get a degree while they're competing. So they do compete outside of college a lot, and some on an amateur level and some more on a professional level, which bringing up, we're at this arena, Durant will be having a professional PRCA rodeo this year that a lot of my student athletes will actually get to compete in. So coming up in May. But that'll be another huge event for Durant later this semester, later in the year.
That is huge, Coach. And that was the last question I was going to ask you, because again, I know that your time is valuable tonight. So we're very thankful that you're giving some of that to us here on the Bryan County Patriot. The PRCA, it's just having that name attached now to the rodeo here in Durant is a big deal. And I didn't realize. I'm glad you said that some of your athletes are going to be competing there as well. Now that'll be after your season is over with, but still,
right.
what a big deal. And how big is it then to have a PRCA rodeo in Durant, Oklahoma, in Bryan County?
Right. It's a big deal. It's as in rodeo, it's as high as you can go on the professional level. Their finals, of course, is in Las Vegas, and it's showcased on national TV, and the circuit that Durant is in it involves Kansas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma rodeos, and it's called the Prairie Circuit. So adding another rodeo to the Prairie Circuit finals just on a local level was a pretty huge accomplishment for Durant to be able to do that. It's during the same weekend as Hugo PRCA rodeo, which is just down the road. So I feel like the contestants will try to, go to both of those and then on maybe to Fort Smith. But it's a huge thing for them to step up from an amateur to a professional rodeo. And it's not that easy to do.
Well, I think it's incredible. And I am so glad that we're going to have that. We're going to talk about that more than once. By the way, I dropped, in honor of President Newsom, I dropped the rodeo week graphic there on the bottom. So we have that too. And one more thing before I let you go. Got a comment from Jeff Shelburne, my friend Jeff Shelburne, who's recently had a birthday, by the way. Also recently healed up because, he took some rib damage from one of those horses as well. a little while ago. So we're glad he's well. He said, glad to have you at practice tonight, Joey. I think you're also glad to have him at practice tonight too, aren't you, Coach?
Right. Jeff has been our right hand man. My husband and myself, we both worked this, and he's always been there since day one when I started, and gives us tons of help. And honestly, we couldn't do a lot of things without Jeff. So I always appreciate his help, and I'm glad he's well where he's able to come back this week. So
well,
I appreciate it.
We wish you all well. Success to you all. Thank you again, Coach. I'd love to listen to you for twice as much time, but I want to let you take care of your kids. They have big things that are happening, and it's going to happen right here in Bryan County. Rodeo, collegiate rodeo, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, starts at 7 p.m. each night. Bailey Ray will be singing the national anthem each of those nights as well. Some more local celebrity flavor, right?
Right. I'm excited about that. I voted for her every time. So I'm going to get to meet her finally. So that's pretty cool.
And Friday and Saturday, you can come to the Slack for free. Adults, $10. Kids under 12, $5 for the evening events. And Southeastern students, you can get in with your student ID. Coach Christi Braudrick, thank you so much. And I mean this. Thank you so much for visiting with us tonight. Go take care of those kids. And we look forward to next Tuesday night giving a really good report of how everything's gone.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Joey. Thank you so much.
All right. We will let her get back then if I can find – there it is. Find a chance to take over the big screen there. Let her get back. Kathy says, hello, Coach. Sorry. I hope that hope she sees that a little bit later on. And I'm glad to be here. My monitor has changed here in Studio B. I'm not sure what we're calling this. This isn't the main studio. We're going to start work on the main studio a little bit later on this spring. There's a lot of changes that are going to be happening at Emerald Quest World Headquarters, otherwise known as the Patriot Household, otherwise known as where Jody tells me what to do. So we'll be doing that a little bit later on. In the meantime, the monitor is working. How you doing tonight? God bless you. I won't keep you too much longer. Shout out then. Jeff says, Christi Braudrick and Kyle Braudrick do a great job for Southeastern. I'll just go ahead and put that up there. Do a great job for Southeastern, and no one sees the hours that they put in. Well, that is true. You saw some of the hours that they put in tonight. So, and what is it? 9:18. See, I can do my show at 9:18, and I'm sitting, here on my own property. They're out there and they're working hard. And then when all the practice is done, they still have to put all the stock up, do all the other stuff too. So, Coach Braudrick, I don't know if you're still listening or not, but go take care of all of those kids, and a shout out from Kathy Jones to you if you've heard that. So anyway, take care of them. They're all good. All right. Let's see really quickly. Let's go over a few things. We talked about the rodeo coming up. Don't forget that. And we do want to get to mention that next week. I'm looking forward to finding out how everyone does. I know that depending upon what night it is, I like to go to the short go. I like to go Saturday night. So I know that I can't say the little ones anymore. My son is like almost as tall as I am. I know someday he'll be taller than I am. Today's not that day. No, it's not yet. But anyway, the kids enjoy going, so I'm looking forward to one of the nights, or maybe more than one of the nights. We're going to go and get to see that. And you know what? I actually like going. The slack time is really pretty cool too. I mean, it's I don't want to say it's casual because there's a lot going on. From a fan's perspective, it's just kind of a easygoing opportunity to get to watch everything that's happening around. So anyway, all right. Yeah. Shout out to Jeff Shelburne, who just sent me a text of him on his horse watching the interview live. There you go. That's the way to do it. So I don't know how many of you, Robert and Jamie Miller, I think have watched BCP live while they're fishing out of the pond. So that's a cool way to do it too. All right, really quickly, Saturday, I was up in Oklahoma City. I was at the Big House. I was at the Norrick State Fairgrounds Arena in Oklahoma City, and I watched 6 basketball games, which, for me, I broadcast sports. And let me pause there for just a moment, and because I've already been asked more than once, even one time today, say, watch out because the mic's hot. Let me explain something really quickly about a hot mic. 2 things, actually. Number 1, which is number 2 in this instance, but number 1, we were taught at journalism school. I have been taught broadcasting in media departments I've worked at for years and years and years and years and years and years. I was taught by my mother way back in the day, always assume the mic is hot. So if you always assume that the microphone is on, then you don't say anything that you wouldn't want to say. Now, the second thing, which is actually more important than that, and if you know what I'm talking about right now with this particular conversation, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just learn something. What's on the inside is going to come out. Bible's very clear about that. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if it's on the inside, it'll come out. If it's not on the inside, it's not going to come out. So some of us don't have to worry about saying stupid things because we don't have stupid thoughts on the inside. I know that was free, but just thought I'd throw that out there anyway for anyone that's still listening if I haven't run you off. Oh, well. All right. Anyway, where were we going? Silo. I was up in Oklahoma City, and I got to watch the Silo Lady Rebels play. Shout out to the Lady Rebels. State runners-up. A fantastic season. There is they lost to Howe in the championship game. And you know what? Lots of folks lose to Howe. Howe's a very good team. It's a quality program. And so shout out to Howe for getting the win. But to the Silo Lady Rebels for representing Bryan County in the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association State Tournament Class 2A. Shout out to them. 2 1-point victories to make it to the championship in the quarterfinals and the state semifinals. So really, they just did a fantastic job. Coach Harmon is doing well. And to Kate McDonald, superintendent, you got a good thing going on there in Silo. And I know we're going to get to visit with you sometime soon on the Bryan County on BCP Live. All right, I think. Oh, and I said Silo, by the way. They're in the baseball team is in Florida today. Picked up a win too. I heard earlier. Kevin Farr let me know that the Rebels got a win a little bit earlier. I think he knows one of the pitchers there. So yeah, good job, Will. All right, I think that will that wrap it up. I think it may wrap it up tonight. The main thing was tonight was to get out about the rodeo. So keep that in mind. We want to support. Bryan County people are good people. Can I just say that? Bryan County people, I believe, are good people. And I think we have so much to offer here in southeastern Oklahoma. I think we have quality university. I think we have quality schools. I think we have quality jobs, quality employers. We have great ideas here. We have good local businesses here. There are so many good things. The place is growing. There's so many good things, so many good people, and a shout out to all of you in that. And we should support the rodeo when it's in town. Don't forget, we will have West Huggins, by the way, on the show very soon as well, talking about the PRCA rodeo that is coming. So that's another big thing, too. So keep those things in mind. Shout out to the folks in Bryan County. All right. Anybody? I don't think I'm missing anything tonight. I know it's a shorter show tonight. That's all right. Spring break. Ordinarily, I guess on spring break, shouldn't we be going longer on spring break? You know, actually what today is? I just realized this. I should have. You know what? I should have done a bigger production about this. I just realized this. 1 year ago today is when this program started. March 16th, 2020 is when this program started. It was our first episode. We should show like a little bit of that first episode to see how far we've come, because we've come along. I say I've come a long way. You guys, y'all were already there, but I've had to grow a little bit. So I've come a long way. Wow, 365 days since the first BCP Live. Man, how about that? And we're still going. But not 6 nights a week. No, not 6 nights a week anymore. All right, let me close by saying this. Thank you for watching. You all are incredibly cool people. Bryan County people are special people. If you're watching outside Bryan County tonight too, thank you. I appreciate you for watching this long, or for just stumbling by and sticking around to watch just a little bit. I will tell you these 3 things in closing. Number 1, be wise. And if you don't feel like you have enough wisdom to get through, ask God. He said he would give you wisdom without finding fault. God's not going to look at you and go, my goodness, there he is asking for wisdom again. There she is asking for wisdom again. No. He gives wisdom without finding fault, and he gives a lot of it too. It says he gives it liberally. Number 2, walk in love. It doesn't hurt anything to show love. It does not hurt anything to show love. May give a little bit of extra effort, but it sure shouldn't hurt anything to show a little love to people around you. So do that today and tomorrow as well. We're wrapping up today. Do it tomorrow. Do it all week long. And finally, do not walk in fear. You know, we're finding out, interesting, we are finding out more and more about the things that we were hearing a year ago today that really may have been a little bit exaggerated. There are lots of things that we were told a year ago today that just really, we're finding out that they're not true. And there was a lot of fear that was sent out a year ago today that we're learning may not needed to have been sent out. So I'm telling you right now, have respect for a situation, but don't walk in fear. Do not walk in fear. Be wise, walk in love, don't walk in fear. We will be back again next Tuesday night, and we have somebody cool. We have 2 cool people coming on. We'll see how it all pans out. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.